So, parenting tip number 46 has to do with worry. As parents, we're constantly worrying, right, about the safety of our child, about the challenges our children are facing. And an important lesson, I feel, is to teach your children how to deal with worry because worrying will never go away, but we can actually teach them how to manage worry so that it doesn't take over their mental stability. Because if we allow our worries to get the best of us, this is where panic happens, anxiety, depression, and sometimes we feel like we can't function. So I wanted to share this book. It's from Harvard researcher and lecturer Sean Achor, Achor, and he wrote this book called The Happiness Advantage. And I love his quote: adversities, no matter what they are, simply don't hit us as hard as we think they will. I have a personal story. Many of you who know me know that years ago, my mother in law sued us, and we might have lost our house. We might have lost, a lot of possessions. We might have, been in major financial debt, and we did have to settle out of court. It did cost us tens of thousands of dollars. I didn't think we would survive, and we did. Another, I thought, a major financial crisis was when we had medical insurance problems, and something happened where my medical insurance canceled by mistake. So Chelsea's birth was out of pocket. We had to pay $5,000 because of a mistake. And I cried, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And then Sabrina, who was 6, said, oh my gosh, Dad, watch our $5,000 baby, when we were at the state fair. But the reason why I'm sharing my little personal worry stories is that when I reflect back, every single time I thought that, we couldn't pay the mortgage or that we couldn't handle, the lawsuit, or I couldn't handle the insurance crisis, it always worked out. When my dad passed away, a lot of times when we lose loved ones, we feel like we're never going to be able to get over the grief. And the grief is always there, but we learn to live with it. And sometimes it hurts so much, and other times you are able to function with it. So I think a very valuable lesson is to teach your kids, how our thoughts work. We have 150,000 thoughts that go through our mind every day. Majority are negative, right? A lot of the thoughts that we have are based on negative futurizing. I call it just, when we imagine the worst case scenario. So, suppose, like right now, as I record this, my daughter Chelsea will take her road test. So, can you imagine? In her mind, she's thinking about the road test, she's thinking about the college assignments that are assigned that aren't due today, but you're just worried. She's worried about, will she be able to complete them? Does she know how to do them? And I think if we teach young kids, as soon as you catch yourself involved or traveling down that worry trail, you are just cognizant and you are aware what you're doing, and just tell yourself, oh, I don't want to travel there. I'm going to just choose to be in the present right now. And so even when my dad passed, I remember Sabrina wondering, how I gathered the strength. And I think it's because I only just handled what was in front of me, doing whatever it took to handle the funeral, doing whatever it took to get my mom's, widow benefits, military, health insurance, making sure that I got her power of attorney. But if I thought of everything, which I found myself sometimes doing, you go into mental breakdown. So as a 5-year old, when their ice cream drops, their whole world is crumbled, right? And we just think it's just an ice cream cone. To them, it's their entire world. But if they learn how to handle the mini challenges when they're little, I think it prepares them for being resilient when they're older. So don't minimize it. Don't say, oh my gosh, it's only ice cream. Don't make a big deal out of nothing, because that doesn't make them feel heard and understood. Those of you who've been following my parenting tips, that's the one thing that my daughter Chelsea, I've learned, and I still catch myself giving life advice, sharing like what I just recorded on a parenting tip and how, it's just the worrying though. And I've been trying to coach her through it. But then I realize sometimes we just have to go through it. But if you can guide your children and even yourself, when you catch yourself in the worry trail, just be aware of it. Take a deep breath, walk away. I've been teaching my daughter blow a candle, close your eyes and take 5 deep breaths, blast your favorite song, and just give your mind a mental break from whatever thought is causing you to worry. And that is my parenting tip number 46. I will close with the lesson is to train your mind to be more at ease, right? More calm and less reactive. Because once we start traveling that worry trail and we become reactive, that means you are believing in the negative futurizing situation, right? And you're thinking of the worst case scenario. And when you have that panicky feeling, just remember, stop, take a deep breath, and remind yourself, is that happening right now? No, your worst case scenario is usually not happening. Yes, like my mom, not remembering who I am, that's happening now. But am I going to just concentrate on everything that's going wrong in my life? No. So lately, my mantra to Chelsea is wait a minute, redirect, redirect. I said it's kind of like we're a preschool, right? Preschooler, and we're looking at all these things. And it might be like a broken toy, and it might be like the spilled ice cream, and it might be everything that's going wrong, but we have to consciously choose what's going right. You have your house, you have food, you might not have as much toilet paper, as much Lysol, wipes, but we have enough at this very moment. And so focus on what's going right instead of what's going wrong. And also take a deep breath and don't give power to your worry thoughts and teach your child that, okay? They will be so much more resilient and so much more emotionally strong if they're able to learn how to deal with worries, right? And I leave you with that. Message me, let me know how you deal with worry and what you do when you find yourself in the just that hamster wheel of worry thoughts that just seem to consume you. And I look forward to recording tip number 47 tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.